All right, a couple different ways that you can look at this. Number one, recognize that the diameter is 28, so the radius has to be 14. So that allows you to label both of those sides. And what you have in here is this arc right here. The central, that was a terrible drawing, but the central angle that projects to that arc is going to be congruent, which means that this angle in here has to be 90 degrees. So you have an isosceles triangle that's 90 degrees, which means you're dealing with a 45, 45, 90. So your side ratios are going to be 1 to 1 to root 2. So in other words, if I've got this 14, I've got to figure out what the base is. So that's this side right here. And I know that this side right here, AB, is going to be whatever the length of one of those radii is. So that's 14 times root 2. So there's my base. I got to figure out what my height is. If the whole thing is 14 root 2, then one of these is 7 root 2. And you can either use Pythagorean theorem to find the height, or you can recognize, hey, I got another 90-degree angle right here. So this is a right triangle. And this thing's going to be chopped in half. So half of 90 is going to be 45. I got another 45, 45, 90. So OD then is going to be equal to, or congruent to, this side right here, AD. So that's 7 root 2. So if you're going to find the area, it's 1/2 the base times the height, or just 7 root 2 times 7 root 2. So that's how I found it. There's actually an easier way. The easier way is to just recognize that because this is a right angle or a right triangle, and it doesn't look like that, it's not necessarily drawn to scale, but this is a 90-degree angle in here. So basically, if you kind of twist that triangle around, you end up with something that looks like this. And we know that this is one of the radii, this is the other radii, this is a 90-degree angle. And I can just find it very easily by saying, hey, here's the height. So it's 1/2. Here's the height, here's the base. The base times the height. So the area equals 7 times 14, which if you simplify this is going to end up being 49 times root 2 times root 2, which is just 49 times 2, and that's equivalent to this expression. So either way you do it, this is actually an easier way if you recognize it, but this is the way that I did it on the answer key, and that's where I came up with 7 root 2 times 7 root 2.